it's Demi and I am over at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Today I'm going to be doing something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and that's test these single rider queues out. Sometimes single riders seem like a good idea. It seems like, well, it have to be shorter than the actual queue. If that queue says 75 minutes, it can't be the same on single rider. Well, I'm gonna find that out today, because sometimes, yes, that's true, but sometimes maybe it's not. Sometimes it's exactly the same. Also, we're gonna see how much of the actual queue you miss on the single rider line, because sometimes when you're on a single rider line, you don't get to see the entire part of the queue, and that's half of the fun sometimes. And ultimately, if you are not an actual single rider, you are split up with your party. You cannot ride with your party. You are there to fill in the gaps where there are seats available. So I'm super excited. We're gonna ride all of the rides that have single rider here in Islands of Adventure, and then I'm gonna have a whole separate video to do this over at Studios. So I can't wait to get into this. I'm so curious to see how this will turn out. So let's do it. Let's ride some rides and let's go get into some hijinks. We are gonna start with Jurassic World VelociCoaster, and I think this is an interesting way to look at this experiment because this ride has been down for a while due to weather, but the sun is bright right now. It's about to come back up, and you can see this is the single rider line right now, and there's still people in the queue that like just never left the queue. So this looks like it's gonna be a huge wait regardless of either line. So I'm gonna wait until the ride reopens and then I'm gonna jump on the line. I'm not gonna get on the line just yet. All right, they just started letting people in. I hopped on the single rider line and the clock has started. Okay, posted as a 75-minute wait. Here we go. Walking right in, there was nobody in our queue, unlike the queue that people are already in the main queue. So here's a little bit of the difference though between these lines. The regular queue is constantly moving and we have kind of been at a standstill for a while. I am happy that we are at least in this first room, and I'm curious to see how much of the actual queue we're getting to see. Okay, right after that room is where we put our stuff in our lockers, so this is where I actually have to say goodbye to you. There is nothing. You go through metal detectors on this ride. You can't bring anything with you. I'll keep it timed, bye. Okay, here is what happened. I timed the queue beforehand. I made sure to look at the exact time when I put my phone in the locker, and I got an exact time of when I got onto the ride. It took 43 minutes to get online to the actual ride. I also on the way kept asking people who are on the actual queue, were you on the queue before it shut down or did you get on after it reopened? And everybody I asked was already on the queue prior to it shutting down. So it did get to a point where I was asking people that, and they were on the outside portion of the queue. So here's what I think about the single rider line. Yes, I did wait 43 minutes compared to 75, and I think that's great. I think in this scenario, this is the way to do it. I think it definitely saved us a lot of time. The queue, though, is constantly moving. And whenever I have done the regular line here, it's very, very quick. Obviously, there were so many people already here, so that's why I think in this scenario, this was a great way to do it. But the single rider line really does not move. Literally, I was sitting on the floor the entire time waiting to go, because you unfortunately missed the entire queue of VelociCoaster. You just get the one room, you put your stuff in your locker, and you go right up, and you only get to see the pre-show with what's their faces, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. And then you're kind of stuck there for basically almost the entire portion of your wait. But in normal times, if there isn't a down period where people are waiting, I think the regular queue is better because it is constantly moving, constantly flowing. And if we did already get to so many people by the end of that first initial queue, I think then that's a good sign that it was moving really fast, and it seems like it's gonna move faster normally. But again, I think this is kind of a cool way to do it if it happens this way. So I'm glad we had the opportunity to do this, because this does happen almost daily during especially hurricane season, which is half of the year almost at this point. It's Orlando, there's rain every day. The ride will shut down at least once a day, for lightning, maybe. So be prepared for outdoor rides to close maybe for an hour a day during the summer months, and this happening. And I hope this helped you decide what you would want to do. So let me know which you would want to do, but let's hit up another ride. Made it to Hogsmeade. Now we're gonna do the other most popular ride, my favorite ride probably ever, Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure. Only at a 60-minute wait, and I say only because today I don't know if I mentioned this already, but it's a Saturday, and the queue is not even out here. There's no queue out here. I would recommend you going right on the regular queue right now. I would not recommend you doing what I'm doing. I mean, maybe we'll see. Maybe I will change my mind. But the reason why I say that is because being a single rider, I will ultimately be in the sidecar. So I personally prefer the motorbike. So I would just say get on the regular queue just so that you can have a chance at the motorbike, and this queue moves pretty well. So I'm going to put my stuff in the locker and head on side. You won't even believe this. I go to the thing because I saw it was open. I saw the single rider be open. They just closed it, and here's the reason. I was like, so why? How come you guys open and close it? And they said because when the single rider line gets to be too close of the wait time of the actual wait time, then we close it. And she said right now it's just about 60 minutes, like the actual wait time. Wow. She said they don't know if they're going to be reopening it today, so I mean, I'll check again later, but I mean, that's good to know so far. I'll check back later, but I've always heard that too. I've never done single rider, and anytime I've ever heard anything about it, that is always what I've heard, that it literally takes the same amount of time as the regular queue, if not more. And she was even saying, if not more. What's up? It's a new day. I finally found this open for a single rider because it's not always open, but I finally found it on a day that it's open, and Past Demi has no idea. So I'm excited. Let's go see. It's a 70-minute wait right now. Which is better, waiting on the regular queue or single rider? 70 minutes, let's go. Well, this is weird. I've never done the single rider before, and that's like up there, the normal line, and we're going downward. This is a very interesting development. So actually, that's medical assistance that stays there. Single rider goes up the stairs, but look at that. I mean, we're passing all these people. I've always heard such bad things about the single rider line, but I don't know. Heading to the right though, we have our own special entrance. So clearly, if you want to do single rider, you have to be able to walk stairs because we had to walk up, and now we're walking downstairs. Well, that's awesome. The single rider line brings you right to the room. You do miss the pre-show with Hagrid, and you don't get to see Fang. And let me tell you, seeing Fang is the best part, like, ever. It's the greatest thing they ever did because it really looks like Fang is right there with you. We get the separate line away from the regular queue. I'm going to deduce that this is luck of the draw because I think I caught the single rider line opening not too long ago because I came about an hour ago and it wasn't open. So I think if the line has been open for a while, then more people are going to be on it and the longer it'll take for a single rider. But so far it's really good. I was assigned a partner and it's time to get on the ride. I'll let you know how long it was when I get off. Dudes, that took 15 minutes. 15 minutes to ride Hagrid's. So the only thing is, like, you're guaranteed the car, like, basically, because you know everyone wants the bike. So if you're okay with the car, then maybe that's good. I don't know. I feel like, here's how I feel about it. For me, who is a pass holder and can come here, I'm fine with it because, like, even though I love the pre-show, I'm okay missing it because I really just want to get on the ride as quickly as I can. I would prefer the bike, but it's like a good little option. I think if you've never ridden it before, definitely do not do it. Absolutely not. Go through the regular queue, see the whole show, get a chance to be on the bike because it's a huge difference on the bike. Like, I had the front row and it was still fun, but it is nothing like being on the bike. I'm sorry, that's how I feel about it. Like, you really feel like you're on a motorcycle versus it's just kind of, it's not as exciting to be in the little sidecar. So I think if you're okay missing all those things and possibly getting in the sidecar, then it's great. I also think that we may have just caught it at a good time. Usually the team members have a good idea of how long it is because they usually tell you, oh, well, I wouldn't even do it. I would go on the regular line because it's just as long. And if you get on the single rider and you see how long it is now, you saw the queue, like, if you see that really long just get off and go back on the regular queue, have the full experience. I think it's definitely the best way to do it. All right, back to Demi from the past. Our next attraction is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey inside the Hogwarts Castle, and it is at a 90-minute wait right now. I am very curious to see how single rider will do for 90 minutes for this. And I also am curious to see about the queue, like how much of the queue are we gonna miss? Because the queue is like the best part of this attraction. All right, single rider is to the left. Here we go, timing it out. Do you have to go up some stairs? Just walked up the stairs and oh my gosh, it made us go right into this room. We skipped a bunch where they show like where the ride is, some paintings. I'm still walking through too. I think I might have missed like the founders of Hogwarts. I think I'm supposed to wait here now. I just skipped like a huge chunk. There's the Sorting Hat. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Oh, she told me to keep going. I don't even have to wait. Oh my goodness. This was a 90-minute wait. I literally didn't even stop until here at the Sorting Hat. The ride is literally right after this. That's amazing. Here we go. 5 minutes and 2 seconds. What did the kids say? No cap, is that right? I don't know. No lie. I couldn't believe it. That was unbelievable. A 90-minute wait, 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Unfortunately, you missed the entire castle though. So there's a trade-off, I guess. So I do not recommend single rider to somebody who has never done this attraction before, because half of the amazing part of this attraction is walking through Hogwarts Castle. So my recommendation is to 100% like, you know, do this when the lines are lower, walk through the castle, it's beautiful, and enjoy it, it's so magical. But if you're somebody who is here all the time like me, yeah, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It's five minutes, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, or honestly, now that I think about it, can you walk through the castle in the walkthrough and then do the single rider? Hold on, I'm gonna find out. Okay, no, never mind. I checked with a team member. For some reason I thought there was a separate like walk-through line. It's the same line as the queue, so you would literally have to still wait in the 90-minute line if you want to see the castle. I don't know why I thought that. I guess you just take the chicken exit if you don't want to ride the ride. So yeah, if you've never done the ride, do not do the single rider because you miss the whole castle. If you're here all the time like me, you don't care, or you don't care about the castle, I guess. Yeah, 5 minutes, absolutely. Into the amazing adventures of Spider-Man, and we are at a 30-minute wait. And all of my adventures on this attraction, that 30-minute wait has always been accurate. So I'm gonna also talk to people on the queue to get, you know, a good idea as well. But let's see how this turns out. Rider is on the left. Here we go. Just to see how much of the queue we're missing, if we're gonna miss anything. I think we are, because this is the exit and we're walking like around, I think, the main room. Oh, look at that. Here's what I will say though right now, just being in this room right now. I recently brought my mom to Universal, and you know how parents can be, how they just don't, you know, they'll do their own thing, even though like you have an entire channel dedicated to, you know, helping people plan their trips. She didn't want to listen and wanted to get on this line in the middle of the day, and we waited in the hot baking sun in the outside portion of the queue for a really long time. So even if this ride is the same amount of wait time, if you end up in that extended portion in the outside part of the queue, you are not when you do the single rider line, and that's worth it 100%. Yeah, you miss everything. You miss everything. You just literally grab your glasses and you go up this little staircase, and that's the room to the ride right there. Okay, here we go. I'll tell you what the time was after I'm off. Okay, Spider-Man took 13 minutes and 28 seconds to get on. And I asked the people around me who are on the regular queue, they said it took a little over 20 minutes. Now, we missed the entire pre-show. So if you have never been on this ride, you won't get to see that. And you also won't know like what's actually happening. You won't know the story behind what's happening. For this ride, I don't think it's like entirely necessary. You know, basically you're just like on like an adventure with Spider-Man with the bad guys, and he's gonna save you, and, you know, whatever. But like, it's still fun. I still think that the pre-show is really cool. I really like Spider-Man. I think if you're a Spider-Man fan, you should definitely do it. And honestly, 13 minutes versus 20 to get the pre-show, I mean, I think that's up to you initially, but I also think that there's room for error on that single rider, that it could come back to being just even closer to the regular queue. So at that point, I feel like it's just worth it to do the regular queue. However, at the same time, there are 3 rows of 4 on this attraction. So I feel like you have a good chance of getting on with the single rider like I did, but it felt like it was pretty close. So it really is up to you depending on that pre-show. I think personally, like, it kind of depends on my day how I would want to do it, but I think it's like a middle of the road judgment call ride. So that's how I feel about it. Let me know what you would do with Spider-Man. This one I don't want to like give a definitive answer on. It's like a kind of a weird one. I think it definitely depends on who you are. Now heading to Dr. Doom's Fearfall. I have to say, this ride is like, it feels like it should be scary, and like the initial like jump up, because it's not one of those rides where it goes slow up and then drops down. It like shoots you up like that, and then it just does like whatever it wants. And I don't know, for me, this ride is just kind of boring, and I think a lot of people feel that way because it never really has that long of a wait. However, it is on Express, and there is single rider. I don't even see the wait time. Oh, he's changing it. Oh, that's so funny. It says 30 minutes. I know it's like weird on the camera, but it says 30-minute wait time. 25-minute wait time now. He made it 25 minutes. Okay, 25, no, now it's 20. What does he do? Now it's 15. Now it's 10. You guys, that was, we could not have timed this better. That was the funniest thing that has ever happened ever. All right, well, a 10-minute wait is probably like nothing, but I mean, we're still gonna do it anyway. We're gonna take the single rider. We have a lot of stairs. Let's do it. It literally just brings you, that was the staircase, and then that's it. It kind of like cuts a couple people, I guess, right? I guess we'll see how long. Already combined with a party of 3, like right away. And then you wait for your spot. So literally it took a minute. Like not even a full minute. And then you just wait until your elevator. So there you go. All right, see you later. Our final ride on this list is the Incredible Hulk. Right now it is listed as a 60-minute wait. I am curious to see if this one will make a difference, because this ride always usually has around like a 45 to 60-minute wait, and that would be a huge plus. This has 4 seats. So there is a good chance, because it's not 2, it's 4, different than VelociCoaster, that the single rider may actually, be shorter, like significantly. So here we go. Unfortunately, I cannot bring you all with me on this journey because you go through metal detectors to get on this ride, and I have to leave you in a locker. But I promise to look at all the times and keep everything as accurate as possible. Last one, bye! Timing could not have been perfect. It is pouring now. Literally, as soon as I got off, it started raining. I ran to my locker, got my stuff, I got into shelter. But so here's what happened. It took 25 minutes to get onto that ride versus 60. So that's fantastic. And you do miss that entire like room where I guess you would say that would be the pre-show. Personally, I think that it's worth it from what I experienced today, only because that room to me is like not as like important at all. It's because you're just going on a coaster. There's really nothing that really exciting in there. I have no footage of there because you obviously can't bring cameras in there. It's hard for me to really explain it, especially not really knowing much like Hulk lore, I guess is what you would call it. I've seen movies, but I don't really have much knowledge. So the only thing I will say is you do wait a good significant amount of the single rider time on the staircase outdoors. So you do get to wait indoors more if you are inside, but you do wait less outside on this ride. So I still think single rider for Hulk is actually really good. I thought that was definitely worth it. I think having those 4 seats are definitely, like I said, was definitely going to be a better outcome than VelociCoaster. So there you go, that was Hulk. To find even more shelter anyway. So that was the day today. I'm so glad we had the opportunity to check out VelociCoaster at, coming back up from weather. Because see, it happens constantly here. It happens constantly. So you have a great idea of how you can work that out. And I think the other rides, are also good indications of actual times here. This is a Saturday, it's super busy. Weather has now affected the day twice. It affected it in the morning and now in like the late afternoon, because it's just been like crazy here all day. So I hope this video helped you. I can't wait to do this when I do it over at Studios. I will link that video here when it is available for you, but I hope it's able to help you. Let me know, would you do single rider? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's not worth it? Do you like the pre-shows? Do you think that they take away from, getting the full experience doing single rider if you don't get the pre-shows? Do you think that they are super worth it? Do you think that 5 minutes waiting for Forbidden Journey was really worth it, or do you think you would have waited the 90 minutes just to walk through the castle? I want to know all of it in the comments. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit your bell notification so you don't miss anything that goes on this channel. Follow me on Instagram at Magical Hijinx. Be sure to check out my Patreon. Become a patron. You'll get exclusive bonus content, and you'll be helping me continue bringing you great content here on this channel. And until next time, my dudes, I hope you guys get some hijinks very, very soon. I'm so glad that we at least made it through the second portion of the raid. Bye-bye.